Someone opened something?
It was from somewhere in the garden area.
And it's very funny considering what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's just cut.
It's Livia and Miyuki here.
Hey everybody, it's Miyuki.
Hey everybody, it's Livia.
And today it's
Doing
story time! We need to plan this, I swear.
Yeah, but we're doing it without a script, and
Yeah.
I've done every single other episode without a script, so screw it.
Yeah, so, it's a story time about me, Miyuki.
Yes.
My paranormal experiences. So,
Yay.
for a considerable amount of time in my life, I have been told that I wake up in an obscure time in the night and do something that I have no recollection of in the morning. So the first time this has happened, I can't remember exactly when, but I know it was the weekend. And in the morning, my sister woke me up, my 2-year-old sister, woke me up by jumping on me, as per usual. And then my mum was like, oh, it was really funny what happened last night. And I was like, what happened last night? And she was like, don't you remember? I was like, no. So then she went on to tell me that my sister woke up around in the 3 a.m. hours of the night. And she was crying, as per usual, as toddlers do. And apparently she has came into my room during this time, and apparently I have woke up and started comforting her, and then I went straight back to sleep afterwards. And obviously, I had no idea I had done this for as...
Creepy.
Yeah. So, as far as I knew, I was fast asleep. So, at first, I just blew it off like, oh, I must have been so tired that I don't even remember waking up. But it has happened multiple times. One other time that I specifically remember, my mum asked me in the morning after, well, not after the first experience, but obviously after the night that it supposedly happened, like this other time, she asked me, why did you switch your TV on in the middle of the night? And I was like, what are you on about? She then told me during the 3 a.m. hours of the night, I have a habit of leaving my TV on, so I'll have my TV on and I'll fall asleep. So my dad's got up in the middle of the night and he's went to the bathroom, yada yada, and he saw that my TV was on, so he's went to go switch it off. And my mum also woke up during this time because of my sister, and apparently she's heard me come out of my bed, switch my TV on, and go back into my bed. So my mum's went into the room to question me, and I was fast asleep.
Which is also creepy.
Yeah, by this point I'm kind of freaked out, but I have never really had that many paranormal experiences at this point. Like, I thought the only ghost that would ever haunt my house is my dead dog and my dead hamster. Like, watching over me. Yeah. So, I thought, okay, it's just random things. This is probably normal. But then other things started to happen. So, in the school that me and Livia and the rest of Team Quotev attend,
Yes.
the school is right next to a graveyard.
Which is very ironic because, like, there's lots of, like, red smears all over the school randomly.
Yes, there's a lot of random red smears, which everyone just blows off as red ink from red pens.
Which is probably true, but still.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
And the most creepiest things happen in the music and drama rooms, which happen to be the closest rooms to the graveyard.
Oh no.
So, one of the days after school, we were a bunch of students, Mia and the rest of Team Quotative included, like Livia, Aisling, Kitty, well, except for Asaki and Megami. I think they just went straight home after. So I had to leave early because I needed to do something for my mother. And to get out of the drama and music section of the school, there were these double doors. One of them was open and the other one was shut, so I was heading towards the one that was open, obviously. And there was this mysterious tapping noise that sounded like it was coming from, like, what the area that the door was. So as soon as I walked through the door, the tapping immediately stopped. And I was a little bit freaked out by this, but I didn't really pay much attention because I had to get home, so I just left the school as per usual. And obviously, as I said, this didn't really concern me until other things happened. Now, if you watched any other Livia's previous story times, there was the moving tiles.
Yes, that was really creepy.
Yes, we'd like to inform you that there is a tiny space between the tiles and the ceiling, but it's not enough for a human to actually fit in there. And we know this because whenever someone in the school decides to fix one of the tiles that's either fallen or been misplaced, they use a stick and they just fix it where everyone can see. So there's no, like, little space to get into. It's none of that.
Well, maybe there is, and there just isn't a way out if you fix all the tiles.
Well, yeah.
Because it looks like there's a lot of pipes up there and stuff.
Yes, there's a lot of pipes. So, obviously, the tile thing happened. And then, it was a Thursday after school, and we had created an anime club. So, obviously, it was during anime club, and I went to make myself a drink. So, there was a water machine right by the bathrooms in a separate block, the art block, which we were in. And it was just me while everyone else was back in the classroom. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, remember when I said that no one could, like, get in between the space between the tiles and the ceiling? I hear heavy footsteps, not deliberate, like someone was running across them from above me. And it stopped at a certain point, which is where the block connected to the other building. And I've got creeped out. And before any of you say something like, oh, it was just a rat or something, rats don't make heavy human footsteps. It was full on heavy footsteps, like someone had work boots on and they were running across the ceiling. And there was no one on the roof, otherwise we would have seen them. And even if there was someone on the roof, where would they get off to? Where would they get off? Because the point, obviously, that we went up to is connecting to the other building, and that's too high for anyone to get up on. So, that's the one that's creeped me out the most, to be honest, until this other thing happened. So, it was kind of a few weeks after the whole incident that I've just told you about. And it was on a Saturday night, and I woke up randomly near the 3 a.m. hours. Why does this always happen at 3 a.m.?
Because it's cursed, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
That's really weird. I don't
I've
know.
heard that it's where the paranormal, like, the other side is more, like, active during that time, or
Yeah,
the veil
it's like,
is just opened. So, I woke up randomly on a Saturday night at 3 a.m. And I was really covered up, because it was during the January months, so it was still pretty cold.
Yep.
And there was a tiny gap between my bed cover and my pillow. And in between, I see this woman with her head tilted 90 degrees, with long, straight, dark hair.
Which we assumed wasn't me.
Which we made a joke saying it was Livia. She snuck into my house at 3 a.m. to scare me.
Yeah, apparently.
But no, there was this woman with dark, long hair, and her fringe covering her eyes, smiling at me, with her head tilted 90 degrees. So then I freaked out, and I sat up. But as soon as I sat up and I started looking around the room, she was gone. And I promise you, stop making that face. She's trying to recreate the face that I saw.
Tried. Okay.
But no, her face was more round than yours. But yes, and I'm not kidding. Days after this happened, I could not sleep properly. You can ask any of the Teen Quotive members.
Yeah.
I was so tired because I was too afraid to go to sleep. I was afraid to close my eyes and open them just to see her there again.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's happened with me. Well, nothing that paranormal has happened since, but me and Livia have had quite a few paranormal experiences together.
Yeah.
Which is quite a long time ago, back in 2017.
At some point.
Yes.
Oh god.
So, It was one of the weekdays, and me and Livia were having a video call. I can't remember if it was on Facebook or Skype.
I think it was on Skype because we kept
Yes.
kicked off of saying like
Yes.
memes.
My twin Caitlin has also joined, and we all made a joke saying how Skype kept kicking one of us off as soon as we mentioned something, specifically memes.
Yeah, but that's a whole different story.
Yes.
But yeah, at one point,
Caitlin's left the chat, and it's just me and Livia for like, was it an hour and a half after?
I think so.
Yeah. And we were just talking, and it had gotten pretty dark at this point. It was probably like 9 o'clock.
Probably.
Yeah, 9, 8 o'clock. And we hear these noises, but we presume it's just like the other residents in Livia's house.
Yeah.
And then Olivia tells me that she heard a voice saying something. And it was the most ridiculous word when I questioned her. I was like, what did they say? What did it say? Yada yada.
And I said, chicken nugget. literally, what I heard was chicken nugget.
Exactly. I didn't hear this until she mentioned that. So probably 5 minutes afterwards, I hear a voice that's exactly like Livia's say, chicken nugget, in that exact way. And it wasn't Livia, because I was staring straight at her face. So we're just like laughing, also freaking out, like, where is this coming from? And it sounded exactly like Livia's voice.
It was really creepy.
I presumed it was just a recording that she accidentally took, because to get the video call to work, she had to use this recording thing on her laptop. So I presumed she'd accidentally recorded herself, and it's now replaying without her knowing.
Yeah.
And this happened multiple times. I even got my little brother into the room, and he started freaking out when he heard it as well. So we were just like, we're not going crazy. We're legitimately hearing this.
It was really weird. It was like randomly happening. Random, just like chicken
Nugget. Like in the silence, and all of a sudden, just imagine silence.
Chicken nugget. It just comes out of nowhere.
And then it started adding the laugh that you did afterwards, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was like chicken nugget. And I was like, Jesus. What?
Yeah, and that happened multiple times apparently.
And the recording was never found.
We never found the recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's an experience that we both remember, and it's still quite funny to this day. Have you had any other paranormal experiences?
Not that I remember anyway.
I had one in mind, and then it just flew out the window. I don't remember what I was thinking of anymore.
Well, then we might do another story time at some point.
Yeah.
At some point.
So, we hope you enjoyed this, and it is terribly long, with not scripted, yada yada. And this is Miyuki and Livia, and we'll see you.
Yes.
We'll see you in another one. Bye!
Over.